Hey, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds. Welcome to Winners on a Wednesday. This week, I got a guy. This guy's gonna blow you away. When I met him, he had no property experience, nothing like that. And from scratch, he's built a rent-to-rent portfolio of 27 rooms, making him a clean profit of £2,700 a month. On top of that, he owns his own HMO. It's renting for £1,200. Him and his associates have made £56,000 from packaging and selling deals. He's got a couple big things going through right now, which he's buying with his money that he's made from sourcing and from private investment joint venture finance. So this dude is on fire. Patrick Welsh, welcome to Winners on a Wednesday. How you doing?
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
Dude, I had to drag you on the show.
I am sorry about that.
What happened?
A couple of attempts, I think, going back 12 months from now. I hit a point where I was making probably similar, if not more, than the £2,700 per month.
From the rent-to-rents?
Yeah, from the rent-to-rent business.
Yeah.
We had 32 rooms at the time, which I'm self-managing, so it kind of took over a little bit. Now, at the time, I wasn't at a stage where I should have been or where I'd like to be. So, unfortunately for yourself and for me now,
yeah,
that it kind of.
Yeah, I kept messaging you. I kept saying, because you'd message me. I'd see you on the academy, and it'd be like, "Oh, Patrick's just done this deal. Patrick's just done that deal." I knew it was coming from the training.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, why don't you come and show your story? And you were like, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Maybe a bit camera shy. Maybe I don't want my colleagues to see it at my workplace and this and that and the other. And you know what? There's so many people like that, and you probably know them.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a bit of a running theme, really. If it affects your working life, if you're still in work, and I suppose everyone's got their own expectations of themselves. And for me, for one, I really want to be at the top. And if I'm not feeling like I'm there, I don't want to talk about it until I get anywhere near.
And I spoke to you recently, I said it's important to celebrate your success.
Yes.
Celebrate what you've done. Because you always say to me, I just want to be earning £5,000 a month. I'm doing 5 now. Okay, I just want to be earning 7. Oh, I'm doing 7 now. I just want to be earning, and you keep pushing it, and you never tell anyone.
No, sure.
So anyway, we're finally here.
Yep.
So of all the different investment strategies, the property entrepreneurship strategies, which one are you most passionate about? I'm
most passionate about deal sourcing.
Really?
Yes.
Interesting.
Yep.
Why is that?
We took a shift from the end goal is to buy assets, which is why we all get into this for passive income. Now, one of the routes that I chose to get onto that path was a rent-to-rent business. Now, which went really well. Started making good money. Deal sourcing, I started to do that in the first lockdown in March.
By the way, can I just say, you're so good at deal sourcing.
Thank you.
Like, your deals, legit, are very strong deals.
Thank you.
So, anyway, keep going.
So we started the sourcing company around March time. We did that because...
What do you mean we? What do you mean we?
Just me, myself, and a couple of my associates.
But the thing is, though, you've been co-deal sourcing.
Yeah.
In fact, you're doing a couple deals a month.
Yep.
Consistently, you're making good money. One of the things I'm trying to pull you away from is co-deal sourcing.
Yes, that's right, yeah.
And you're using my company, other academy members, you're packaging deals. I'm like, dude, that's what you do when you're getting started. You're way past that now.
Yep.
You're very good at getting deals. You've proven to yourself that you can do it. You need to start selling to your own investors.
That's it. I mean, give me a deal and I'll go and find it. I do truly believe I can find anything that you're looking for.
You're the best at finding deals.
I also like working closely with investors. Sometimes what I've found over the last sort of 6 months is a lot of our businesses come from people that are overseas, not here to be on the ground, and not only they know what they've got a chunk of money and they want to put it to work. It's my job to make them understand how to do that, what to buy, and what's going to be coming out as the profit.
Yeah.
I think some people, watching this might be surprised at the amount of people that are in that position, because the money in the bank it's going to start losing money.
Yeah. So basically, you've taken the skills of being able to find investment properties.
Yep.
You're doing your own deals, but you're making considerable amount of money by just selling deals on.
Yes.
And the great thing about being in that position as a deal sourcer, that's why I say everyone should be a deal sourcer, is the best deals you can keep for yourself.
I mean, we've done that. We're doing that now, as I'm sure we'll come on to it. There's a couple of deals when you're out on the road, as you know.
Yeah.
they tick a few boxes.
Yeah.
You ain't putting it out on your list.
I want to know, Patrick, what you personally have bought recently. You, Patrick Welsh.
Yeah.
What you bought, because you do some crazy deals. What about the deal where you just put, how much deposit did you have to put down for that recent refurb?
11,000.
11,000?
Yeah.
Because you're living there yourself?
Yes, that's correct.
So you sell that bad boy,
Yeah.
if you want, you're going to pay no capital gains tax.
That's correct, yeah.
You're probably going to refinance it though?
As it stands right now, we're probably going to refinance it, use that money to go and invest elsewhere.
So you bought the house for what, 218?
Around that, 215 to 218.
You bought it for?
Yeah.
You're doing a little refurb on it?
Yep.
And then you're going to either sell it. What happens if you refinance it? What will happen?
If we refinance it, we'll pull out around 40k.
So you'll pull out, is this your deal?
It's we live there, yeah, it's for me.
You and your partner?
Me and my fiance and my family.
Oh,
yeah.
Nice. So it's like a family home?
It is. I mean, I'm slowly bringing my fiance into this world. She was working 2 days a week for a previous employer.
Yeah.
She's now working for us directly. The rent-to-rent business actually pays her and replaces their wages, and she works for us now, which is a massive bonus.
This is like life-changing kind of things happening here.
Yeah.
You know, life-changing things. I mean, when we first met, back in, what was it, about a year and a half, 2 years ago? 2 years?
June 26th.
When did you first start watching my videos on YouTube?
Probably the beginning of that 2019, probably.
Beginning of last year. Well, now it's 2021 now. It feels like 2020 still.
Yeah.
So you're talking about almost 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You started watching the videos. Even from the videos, you went and bought. In fact, when did you complete on your first house?
We completed on that house. It must have been a day or two before the crash course.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, don't get me wrong. I was already educated at the point of buying that house off the back of your videos, which is free.
Yeah.
So, really, picked out the property, and don't get me wrong. At the time, we thought, it was fully let. Now, as an inexperienced investor, that was a bonus. I don't even have to find any tenants. It was a student accommodation with 4 tenants in at the time. By the time we completed on it, which was a day or two before the crash course, it only had 2 tenants in. Now, what that meant was for the next 12 months is that the ASTs stipulated that those only 2 tenants could rent the house out for that duration, which is actually a 12-month AST contract until the next student intern came around.
So you were kind of screwed?
I was kind of screwed. It kind of washed its face in terms of profit. The anticipated profit, the agent wouldn't put me any more tenants in. So I was kind of, up against the wall with it. So I kind of just...
Do you reckon you should have bought the house maybe a day or two after the crash course instead of prior?
What I would have done is done a bit more work. I'm actually doing this now, second time round, buying another property that is tenanted. I'm actually having my solicitors work on a week-by-week basis to get a rent account update to make sure that A, everyone's up to date and no one's in arrears, COVID arrears, all that type of stuff. And B, that there's no things in place to say that we can't run at full capacity, which is what hindered me in this instance.
So have you sorted that out now?
So now it's sorted. We actually switched agent. It's fully let at £1,200 a month from a 4-bed.
And how much did you buy it for?
83.
Do you reckon it's gone up in value now?
I think
the one next door sold for like 90 odd.
I sourced one next door, but one that sold for 99.
Okay, so nice little juicy deal there.
There's some room to be made in that one as well at some point, yeah.
So why did you join the academy? You watched the YouTube videos, and you just said you were already educated from YouTube. You came to the crash course. The crash course is free. Why did you spend like £10,000 plus joining the academy?
Do you know, going back, I started off in my working life. It's within me to be, I thought to be, and to, this house, for example, the way you get there is to be the best employee as you can be. Now, I went through my employee life, going through the stages and incrementally getting to where, on paper, where I thought was right. Now, in around 2017, our finance director, before we get onto that bit, I was offered a position that was a new position, never been there before, that was warranted a particular amount of money. Now, me and my boss, we agreed, this is going to be the rate, you're worthy of it. It went up to the FD, who kicked it out and said, that amount of money is too much for a blue-collar worker. So the penny dropped when I realised that I'm actually going to be dictated by the colour of, the status of the job financially. And it's that point I was laid in a hotel room in London, and I've done a bit of podcasts and stuff up until that point, kind of before I came across you. And at the time, I knew about I think you were talking about video about no money down deals. Now, I was like, oh God, not this again. I'd heard about raising JV finance and all these different things. So I was expecting you'd gone through 3 options, JV finance. I went through them all. Come to the 4th one, you said lease option agreements. I'm like, that's funny. I've not heard that one yet. I'm going to do some more investigation on you. And I just liked you. I liked your energy. I liked that you was a similar age to me. And booked the crash course. Rang my fiance and said, we're going to the crash course in June. And the rest is history, really. Signed up to the academy on the day of the crash course.
Was it a good decision? Yes.
If my fiance wasn't there, I don't think I would have done it.
Go on.
Well, it was a similar situation to what Alistair's mentioned in the past. I sat next to her. I was like, don't I? I know if I put myself in that position, I'm probably going to do really well, based on my track record throughout my working life. If I put that effort into this, will that reflect? I think at the time, you got all sorts of things going on, and then she just kind of turned and said, you've got to do that, don't you? So off you get, and signed up straight away.
What did she think when you told her that she could leave work and work full time in the business?
Well, this wasn't too long ago. She was furloughed and she was getting paid. So when we come out at the back end of that, she got made redundant. We was happy. I was happy just banking the profit, and using that as funds to increase the assets and things like that. I just said, don't worry about it. You want to be at home with our 2.5-year-old daughter. We have the facility now to make that happen. I'll just redirect your wages up from our business, you know, and then you can. The 2 things I want to get from it is A, she's going to become educated through what I do, and B, I want it to be productive.
Yeah.
So we'll get there, but if she can come to a point where she's finding me leads, she's doing viewing, she's packaging stuff up ready for me to sell, that would be ideal.
Yeah, and it's tax deductible. Yeah.
So that'd be really good if we could achieve that.
How did it feel being able to just give your fiance a job?
Yeah, it felt really good.
Did
it felt amazing? Yeah, she's probably in tears at the thought of. We actually told our daughter that Mummy didn't have to go back to work. Yeah. I think that brought a tear to her eye, because not many people can say that they don't need to work anymore.
Yeah,
for anybody else anyway.
And you guys are like, what? How old?
I'm 29. She's 28.
28. That's a great position to be able to say that to your fiance.
Yeah.
At 29 years old, to be able to say, hey, you don't have to go back to work.
Yeah, exactly.
Come join the business. It's making good money.
Yeah.
27 rent-to-rent rooms.
Yeah.
And that's cleaning your profit of 2,000. Is that cleaning your profit right now, even during all this madness?
Yeah. So as I say, when we go back to the beginning of it, so I aim for £100 profit per head.
Yeah.
So we had 32 rooms at the time. We was doing between 3.2 and 3.5.
Profit a month.
Profit a month.
Yeah.
Just from rent to rent business.
Yeah.
COVID hit. Now I was hit a little bit of that, which meant that for some reason the troubles came from some of the lower end properties that had universal credit tenants. Right. Which don't make sense because they get their rent paid. So there was just more hassle than it was worth. So started to get rid and hand back some of the lower quality houses, and it wasn't even anything really to do with the house, more area. So we're now focusing on. I'm downsizing the rent to rent business, not to sort of get rid of it is to keep the ones that require as less as my time as possible, and that make the best money, and the good that don't need any work doing.
So you've just kept the best ones?
Yeah, just kept the best ones.
Are you making 2,700 every month?
Yep.
Managing it? It's running pretty smooth. Obviously, it always comes with work. And
absolutely.
like any business.
Yeah, of course it does. I mean, I self-manage as well as working a full-time job.
Yeah.
So
where are those properties?
They are all in Hull.
And are they rent to HMOs?
Yes, all rent to HMOs. They was already converted.
Yeah.
The first one. So when I started so we did the Launchpad and the Rent to Rent Revolution, which is one of your academy courses, 1st, 2nd, 3rd of August last year.
Yeah.
2019, sorry.
Yeah.
I think that was the August. I had the business set up in probably like September. Now, in terms of sourcing rent to rent HMO, what I did was, I mean, you teach this. As an individual, you have a freedom of information. So you can go to the councils and ask them for the HMO register.
Yeah.
They send you a CSV document. You load that into your DocMail. So this is the program that I use. It's actually a website. So DocMail. You load in a Word document, pitching your idea of guaranteed rent. Sent that out. I think I had 300 addresses to choose from. I thought, this is going to cost me 60 quid. So I think I said, I'm going to save half for the back end of the year or next year, see how this goes. So I chose 150 off the first half of the list, sent that out. I got a reply from an old, he's not even old to be fair, he's about 40 years old. But
he's just tired.
He's been a landlord since he was 18.
Yeah.
But really knows how to do a conversion. And his standard of conversion is really high. So I walked into this place, rabbit in the headlights. He didn't really care about my pitch or anything like that. He just said, do you like it?
Yeah.
Worked out. Actually, you might remember this. Just as I was going to seal this deal, I did a voice note to you, and you replied because I was trying to get an idea for. It's a 7-bed property. This all en suite, gorgeous house. I actually messaged you saying, what do you think I should offer?
Yeah.
You come back and said, just insult him. I'm like, no, I can't. So I played it to Chloe,
yeah.
And she said, are you really going to disagree with a millionaire? I'm like, no. So I insulted the guy, and he nearly pulled it.
Did he? Brilliant.
So, but it gave me a benchmark.
Yeah.
It gave me a benchmark to work from. We ended up going up quite a little bit.
But you got the deal though, right?
Got the deal.
So it worked.
Which meant that the caveat was, if you take this one, I'll give you another one.
Yeah.
So within the space of Rent to Rent Revolution, beginning of August, by October, I had 16 rooms. So that was very powerful in itself. And first two are the two ones I'm keeping. 5-year deal. Brilliant. We're keeping them all the way, just because touch wood, they don't require a lot of my time. The tenants they're sitting there, most of them have been longer than 6 months.
Yeah.
And I'm not even really sourcing tenants anymore. I'm outsourcing it. Better use of my time.
So how much are those 2 deals getting per month profit?
Them two, about 1,800.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
That's incredible. And you know what though? The reason I said that, I think my exact words were, if you're not embarrassed, the offer's too high.
Hey, my advice to be someone else would be exactly the same.
Now you've done it.
Yeah, of course it would.
Here's the thing, Patrick. When you're starting out in business as a property entrepreneur, sometimes you can be a bit desperate to get a deal. And my fear with people that are new to the game is that they'll offer too high just to get the deal, and then they're not going to make profit because you've got to factor in your time and messing around with tenants. So you've got to make sure that you've got enough cushion in there to make a profit, which obviously you now are, which is great.
Yeah.
So what happened then? So you got those couple deals off the back of the rent-to-rent training on the academy. You then went on to do like the buy, refurbish, refinance training, HMO training, all the different. What was the training like on the academy?
The training it's immense. It speaks for itself. You only got to look at your students. Every single person that you have on here, they're making 5, 10, 15, 20, 30,000 pound a month in profit. your space, you've created a space where people can do big business and brag about it in such a way.
Yeah, when you say, I think what you're talking about is, it's okay to celebrate it.
I suppose in your normal life, you're not going to go. You don't discuss business matters with your friends or family or anything like that. So
and that was hard for you. That was. You're from Hull, right?
It still is, if I'm totally honest. Yeah. I'm from Hull, and now what I've adopted over the last sort of 18 months is relatively new. Still quite new to me. So it's just one step at a time. Obviously, this is one of those steps.
Yeah, because you know what though, most people don't want to say to their friends, "Oh, I just made 10 grand last week."
Yeah.
Because their friends will resent them. So I guess the space that I've created is where it's okay.
Yeah.
We'll cheer you on.
Well, everyone's doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, everyone's doing it.
Everyone's doing it.
It's normal.
Yeah.
Like your friends now. I mean, you told me earlier you've disconnected from a lot of your old friends.
I mean, naturally, as you get older, I think you do anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just I'm so busy.
Who are your friends now?
You.
Yeah.
Alistair.
Yeah.
Chris.
Yeah.
They're all doing amazing. So.
Basically, people on the academy.
Yeah.
That are winning.
Yeah.
And then when everyone's winning around you, you can't not win.
Yeah, sure.
You just can't not win.
No.
And you said to me, you were like, dude, I need to come on Winners Wednesday because it's like all my buddies have done it.
I feel left out now.
Yeah. All my buddies have done it. And I get why at first you were a bit like hesitant too, and a lot of people are, and I get that because every time one person comes on Winners Wednesday, there's probably 50
Yeah.
that have become financially independent.
Yep. I mean, I know a few people that they've put it a bit on the back burner as well. Who are doing equally as good as what I am. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, it's credit to you. Training's immense. I recommend it to anyone. If you want to be in a high energy room with good results on the day, which I've done a number of times, made money at the deal selling mastery. Alistair said, was brought a deal, made £3,000 on the dot.
Yeah. There and then what, you just sold it, bang.
Yeah, where else can you do that?
Yeah.
So it speaks for itself.
Yeah. Thank you, mate. I appreciate that, and it's been great seeing what you've done. Talk to me a little bit about this little refurb. Then, how did you manage to just put down £11,000?
Just literally 95% loan to value mortgage.
Because you're living there.
Because I'm living there, and it doesn't tie up a lot of cash. Obviously, which we needed for the refurb. It's a smarter thing to do. There's no point in dumping a load of cash into a house when it needs a lot of work. I mean, it really does need a lot of work, which we've done. We're nearly enough done the ground floor. We've done it to a really high standard because there's an element of us living there and just refinanced it as opposed to selling it. Yeah. So if we sell it, we don't pay any capital gains tax either. So again, that's another bonus. We've got a couple of options which we're toying with. We'll see how that one goes. Obviously, with all the other things that I've got on it as well, it's not a mad rush to complete the refurb. We've been waiting for specialist parts and things like that, so we'll just see how that goes. You've got a couple of big deals going through as well, HMOs. Yeah, buying a 7-bed property, which is it's in prime location, HU5 in Hull. You're due to complete any day now. Now's January 10th. You're due to be completing January. Yeah. I think we're due to exchange maybe next week or something like that. Yeah. And it's full. Fully rented out. It's fully £30,000 a year that house is making. And what's the purchase price you've agreed? 159. That is incredible. Yeah, I think I'm going to run it myself now for a bit anyway. Is it in Hull? Yeah, it's like 10 minutes away. What's Hull like as an investment area? It's probably been better, but I think it's coming back around again. Did Samuel Leeds saturate it a year or two ago? I think it's literally solely your responsibility. Yeah. Thank God I've not done a financial freedom challenge there. What I like about Hull, I mean, I'm deal sourcing, so I know most areas quite well now. Hull's got a really high return on investment. No, it's because the purchase price is quite low. I mean, you can take that house what I've bought now, so that 159 purchase price, £30,000 a year rent. You take that house put in Doncaster, that's going to be worth 260. Yeah. which is going to drop your RI. You're still only going to make the same amount of rent.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Clientele might be not as great, but I mean, I'm going to choose them people because I'm going to ultimately have the final say. Might not do the viewing, but I'm going to get the paperwork through, vet the tenant, reference them, things like that. So, yeah.
What's it like owning multiple properties, making thousands and thousands of pounds a month in your 20s in property?
Stressful.
It is, but you know what? That's so true. It obviously, this is not easy. This is not get rich quick. This is get wealthy over a period of time, put the work in, but then live the life that most people can't.
Yeah. So I mean,
what was it like?
So it's a bit bittersweet, really. It's like you need to go through it to come out the other end. And I have this kind of saying that it's a bit brutal, but I say if you're not growing, you're dying. So if I'm not pushing myself on a monthly basis, on a daily basis, weekly, taking on new deals, then what am I offering?
Yeah.
And I'm not going to get to where I need to be. So yeah, it's amazing being in the position I am. I'm 29 now. If I could change one thing, is that I did this 10 years ago. I would be in a different position right today.
But you know what though, when you were 27, what would you have thought if you'd have known that in 2 years' time you'd be where you are now?
I'd be really happy. I'd be really happy with the result. I mean, I could probably have said, I hope in 2 years' time I'm at stage X, Y, and Z, and I'm probably really happy with the result.
Because you're a hungry person, so you're always wanting to go to the next level.
You have to be obsessed to get remotely close to what you think is acceptable or to where you need to be.
Yeah.
And that's how to measure it. I mean, if you're not obsessed, expect medium or to low results. It's just simple as that.
Yeah. If you want to make £2,000 a month in property and you want to do that over a 2 year period, all right, no problem.
Yeah, of course.
But you want to make serious money, build up serious wealth in your 20s, you're going to have to roll your sleeves up, and you're going to have to go to work.
Yep.
And some people don't get that. Some people aren't created to do that, and that's okay. Some people come to me. There's even people on the academy. They're making £2,500 a month, and that's all they want. And then they just live a nice, quiet life. They quit work, and they just plod along. Yep. And for them, they're happy.
Yeah, of course.
But then other people, like you want more all the time.
Well, you speak to some people, you have the same conversation, and I might have a similar long-term goal to someone else. And if you measure what you're putting in place to get there, sometimes it doesn't reflect. And that's one of the most important things, is to acknowledge what are you doing about it. Yeah. Because implementation is the key to getting to where you need to be.
Let me ask you a question, Patrick. You're very hungry, you're very motivated, you've done crazy things. Most people wouldn't dream of doing what you've done in your 20s. What's your reason for doing this? What's your strongest reason why?
The strongest reason why is ultimately giving my daughter the life. I've had an alright life. Not that I've come from poverty or anything like that, not nowhere near, but I want to give my daughter an opportunity that I never had. All of my businesses are named after my daughter. And
what's your daughter's name?
Eden.
Great name.
Businesses, Eden Property. So, not that I'm going to hand her a business or anything like that, or hand her a portfolio of houses. It's just a way, get it taught that from an early age that this is what I've done. Yeah. This is an option for me to offer you and teach you and coach you down the right routes, obviously, and provide a bit of freedom for myself and Chloe. So whether that's travelling when all this is over with, we want to do all those types of things.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
Yeah,
and I think the best gift you can give your kids. I mean, I've got 2 kids, a third one due next month, God willing.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man. But you know what? The best thing you can give your kids is not money, but it's showing them an example of what is possible, giving them a path, giving them an opportunity. Passing them your personal development, your education that you've learned and you've paid big money for. So
I mean, that list is growing. I've done further training since then.
You're constantly, because like you said, you're obsessed with growing. So you're not going to go, right, I've done this and that course now. You're going to be constantly reading new books, attending new seminars. You're going to be constantly stretching yourself.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you have to. What I have realised is, right in the beginning, you look at how much these things are, and you only got to look at the progression that people have made who have been on.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want an idea of what you're going to get from it, just look at the people that have done it.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Fair enough for some people that don't succeed, but you've got to look at what they've put into it.
Yeah.
And what comes out the other end.
Yeah. And you've got to look at what the majority of people are getting.
Yeah.
You know, what the vast and yeah, exactly. I mean, what's I mean, you asked me off camera. You're like, how do you deal with the flack? I said, I'm taking him on for the team.
You did, yeah.
Like, what's as an academy member, someone that's in it? Obviously, I get there's people on the sideline speculating.
Yeah.
And, you know, as an academy member, someone that's totally in, even well invested. How is that for people like you?
I know you quite well now, for a year or so properly, and I think you're genuine. Hasn't crossed my mind once any of the crap that gets said. And I think if anyone's got an opinion, I would make a suggestion that they don't know you, and they've had no dealings with you, and they've not paid for any training, and they're also not doing as much as what they could be if they took the training.
Yeah.
And that's the best thing I can say. You know, it's the training is immense. You get big results.
Yeah, I appreciate that. What was it that made you come for this interview?
I think finally, people, investors in this space, they need to know who I am.
Yeah.
From my business.
Because you've been hiding away too long.
I'm a victim of hiding away. I used to be of the mindset that my work will always do the talking.
Yeah.
But as we quickly established, if people don't know who you are, they don't know how good you are as a deal source and these different things.
Yeah.
It's no good to anyone.
Yeah.
So.
And I guess you were seeing some of your friends that were like putting themselves out there.
Yeah, I mean, there's,
coming on the Winners Wednesday show, sharing their story, and you're like, man, I'm passing them my deals.
Yeah.
They're like Chris.
So Chris is exposed a number of times on your channel. You know, you've said, because he's got like 20 rent-to-rent deals or whatever it is. Therefore, he's known for that, which gives him customers, investors. Therefore, his database is bigger than mine, because I've not put myself in that situation, and I suppose today is about that.
Yeah, yeah, and also, you know what? I remember that property. You were like, "Oh, I found this property," and Chris sold it. And then Chris sold it to someone, and that person only knew who he was because of Winners Wednesday. I was like, "Dude, you need to just come on the channel." And
I'll tell you how that happened.
Yeah.
We was having a phone call about the COVID March madness with tenants disappearing and all that type of stuff. We both was chatting about deal sourcing. So I said, Chris, I can find anything. And he's like, well, it's funny because I've got investors that need deals. So I said, give me an example. I said, I've got one investor. She wants a buy, refurb, refinance to HMO deal. I'm like, give me like a week. We secured it. I think it was a couple of months ago now. It was coming towards the end of the refurb.
Yeah.
That's going to leave in the deal on refinance less than 10,000. It's going to cash flow £1,000 a month.
Incredible.
Yeah. So that came from me. But what I'm getting at is he had an investor sat waiting for that based off exposure, and I could find the deal, and that's we just married the two.
Yeah. What were your biggest tip for people, or what was the training program?
Yeah.
That really accelerated you as a deal finder, that made you able to find these deals, crunch these numbers? Like, what was it?
Deal selling mastery.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Because you do it live.
Yeah.
It's not like sit down with a book, read the book, tell me what you've learned and go home and do it. It's, I'm going to tell you, I'm going to show you, and I'm going to sell on stage. I think we sold like £24,000 worth of deals.
Yeah.
Over 2 days. That propelled me, that course, because it was more of a reiteration of what I'm doing. Do I need to change anything? Is there anything I need to put in place?
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good.
That's sick. Also, tell me, if people want to get in touch with you.
Yeah.
What's your website? We need to know.
EdenPropertyInvestors.co.uk.
Awesome. I'll put a link in the description.
Thank you.
And final words of advice for someone that's thinking about getting started in property. Next steps, what do they need to do?
You just need to get started. You need to invest in yourself. It's the biggest investment you'll make. You'll make back that back tenfold. And like I said before, remember this: if you're not growing, you're dying.
Yeah,
you're just stagnant.
That's true, man.
Yeah.
If a flower's not growing, it's dying. And we're no different. It's great to see what the virtual property investors crash course and last week. You keep coming back to the crash courses.
Yeah, it's a good space to be in. As I said, like-minded people, networking, that type of stuff. You've just got to be there. And then plus, it reiterates everything that, the last time I was there was 12 months ago. So it's just driving that nail a little bit more.
Was it good
home.
when you came back last month?
It was amazing. Yeah, really, really good.
That's awesome, man. Hey, listen, keep up the good work, brother. Need anything? Obviously, anytime, give me a shout. I know we bounce voice notes back and forth and stuff, but now mad respect for being on the show, guys. I hope you found that inspirational. I hope you found that practical, filled with golden nuggets. If you want to come to the Property Investors Crash Course, the same course that got Patrick started, it's on the house. It's free. I'll leave a link in the description where you can get yourself booked on for free and come and learn all the nuggets and everything I've learned over the last 12 years in property. You can learn for free. If you want to watch more interviews like this, every single week I interview one of my students that's killing it in property, and every time I interview someone it represents probably about 50 people, and I've got over 100 interviews right here from my success students. Also, please don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. You can do that right here so you don't miss a future video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.